all stories are true. Some stories actually happened. If you look at and listen to a story, you might find yourself in the story. Sometimes the story becomes your own story.
Good evening. This is Fr.Tony Russo again, priest of the Sacred Heart. I'm back again to tell you some stories, and the first one is entitled, I Had Lunch with God. A little boy wanted to go out and find God. And so one afternoon he took his lunchbox, he filled it with Twinkies, and he took a bag and he put root beers in the bag. He didn't know how long it was going to take, so he wanted to make sure he had food and drink. He went through the park and he noticed a bench, and there was an old lady sitting on the bench. So he sat down, and as he reached in to get a Twinkie, he noticed that she looked pretty hungry. So what he did was he broke the Twinkie and he gave her half. And when he gave her that half, she had a tremendous smile that came on her face. He'd never seen one so strong. Well, the whole day went by and they enjoyed each other's company, and they shared the Twinkies and they shared the root beer. And it got dark and late, and they just spent time together. They didn't really even talk with each other. They just were with each other. And so the little boy got ready to leave, and as he walks away, he turns around and there's that beautiful smile again on the old lady's face. Well, he had to run back and give her a big hug. And then he was off. He comes home and his mother says to him, boy, you really look happy. What happened today to you to make you so happy? Well, Mom, I had lunch with God. It looked like God was hungry for a while, so I shared my Twinkie, my root beer. And God has such a beautiful smile. You wouldn't believe it. And God really gave me some good hugs. She really did. Well, the old lady goes home and her son's there, and her son says to her, Mom, boy, do you look happy today. And Mom says, I had lunch with God today. And he shared his Twinkies and his root beer with me, and he gave me a real big, good hug before we left. And you know something? I never thought that God was that young. That's the story of how people have lunch with God. And just to say that, if I smile at someone and I share with someone from what I have, we connect. And in that connection, God is also present. I'm going to tell another story. As a younger priest, I was involved in a lot of theater, did a lot of directing of college programs. And there's a story about a teacher that did the Easter play. And she took her time. She wanted to make sure children would take parts that they felt very adequate in. Well, there was one little girl that didn't respond at all when the teacher called out the talking parts. And the teacher finally asked her, don't you want to have a speaking part? Oh, no, I just want a silent part. I'd like to be the stone that covers the tomb. Okay. So they had the play, it went well. Everybody enjoyed it. So at the end, the teacher said, can I just ask you why you picked the stone? Well, he said, I was the one that moved out of the way that let Jesus out of the tomb. And I'm very, very happy that I was the one that let him out of the tomb. Easter is a couple of weeks away, and we know that it's a very important time of the year for we Catholics. It's Palm Sunday. Jesus is triumphant entry into Jerusalem, and then he had his last meal with his friends and told them to do this in memory of me. And so today we still celebrate that Eucharist that they did that night. And then Good Friday, it's like everything's finished. The world has really gone down. This great Savior was crucified, died on a cross, and was buried in a tomb. Then that Saturday night, catechumens become Catholics, Christian, being baptized, confirmed, and taking the Eucharist. And there are also people who join the Catholic Church as full members, and they're confirmed. And then, as the sunrise goes up on Easter Sunday morning, it's a great day because we know now, like the little boy said, God is no longer dead. He's alive and he's resurrected. And someday we also will share in that resurrection. I want to finish with the jelly bean prayer. Red is for the blood he gave. Green is for the grass he made. Yellow is for the sun so bright. Orange is for the edge of night. Blue is for the sins we made. White is for the grace he gave. Purple is for his hour of sorrow. Pink is our new tomorrow. A bag full of jelly beans, colorful and sweet, is a prayer, is a promise, is a special treat. Happy Easter to you all.
The Priests of the Sacred Heart.